What's up, Yankee Nation? If you're a die-hard fan of the Bronx Bombers, buckle up, because today's update is packed with heat, behind-the-scenes buzz, trade rumors, and front office moves that are stirring up emotions across the fan base. Grab your jersey, throw on your cap, and join me for a deep dive into what's next for our beloved New York Yankees. The Bronx is alive and kicking in the race for the top spot in the AL East. After a busy offseason full of bold moves, big gambles, and a few controversial decisions, the Yankees have kicked off the season with a mix of hope and nervous energy. Their 18-13 record is solid, no doubt, but it also highlights some cracks in the roster that could prove costly if not addressed soon. So far, the stars of the show have been a blend of seasoned vets and fearless young talent. Max Fried, the new ace on the block, has been everything the coaching staff hoped for. Dominant, confident, and reliable. Paul Goldschmidt has brought a steady presence at the plate, while fan favorite Aaron Judge is putting up MVP caliber numbers early on. And let's not forget about rising stars like Ben Rice and Jason Dominguez, who are turning heads and fueling dreams of a golden new era in the Bronx, but it's not all sunshine and home runs. Juan Soto's departure, while handled smoothly on the surface, still left a void. And insider Andy Martino just dropped a bombshell. The Yankees still lack a dependable right-handed bat against left-handed pitching, and that's where the first major drama of the season begins. The rumored pursuit of Nolan Arenado. Arenado, an 8-time All-Star, is a big-time name with a gold glove and serious pop in his bat. With the Cardinals heading into a rebuild, a trade seemed not only logical but inevitable, at least according to several analysts. The Yankees clearly have a gap at third base, and with Pablo Reyes and Oswald Peraza underwhelming against Southpaws, Arenado looked like the perfect fit. But then came the cold shower straight from Martino himself. The Yankees never even considered a trade for Arenado. Not once. Not even a casual conversation. Nothing. The front office's stance was clear. They're not investing in a high-salary player with inconsistent performance. A strategic call, sure, but one that split fans and analysts right down the middle. What's interesting is that even after the acquisition of Brian De La Cruz, a right-handed hitter brought in from the Atlanta Braves and immediately assigned to AAA, the message from inside the organization hasn't changed. The search for a reliable offensive piece is still on. De La Cruz may develop into a future option, but for now, he's not seen as the definitive answer. In other words, the hole at third base remains wide open, and his saga is far from over. But third base isn't the only area where the Yankees need to make moves. The pitching mound is also a growing concern. Max Fried has been holding down the rotation with authority, and Carlos Rodon looks like he's finally back in top form. But the back end of the rotation, that's where things get shaky. And when a team starts patching things together, it's rarely a good sign. Veteran Carlos Carrasco, now 38, is already showing signs of wear and tear, while rookie Will Warren, though promising, is still very much a work in progress. It's a mix of uncertainty and risk that could haunt the team down the stretch if reinforcements don't arrive in time. Just when things seem to settle, another name starts buzzing around the Bronx, Zach Eflin, a seasoned pitcher who shined on opening day for the Orioles. Eflin, despite a recent back injury, has put up solid numbers and offers exactly what the Yankees need. Consistency and innings-eating reliability for a rotation that's screaming for stability. Journalist Cade Kistner floated the idea of a potential trade with Baltimore, especially if the Orioles remain stuck at the bottom of the division come July. Now, sure, it's rare to see a deal go down between division rivals, but Eflin's contract is up at the end of the season, and given where the Orioles are trending, a trade might make sense for both sides. The Yankees would gain a playoff-tested, dependable arm, while the O's would clear payroll and make space for their younger arms. For those of us who live and breathe this team, moves like this aren't just strategy, they're emotional. We write every pitch, every swing, and every rumor like it's October. So when front office decisions like these are made with cold calculation, it's a weird mix of relief and frustration. Relief that there's a long-term plan. Frustration that what feels like a no-brainer move is passed up without a clear explanation. But make no mistake, Brian Cashman and company are playing long game chess. Not trading for Arenado, for example, may keep payroll flexible for a bigger splash mid-season. Who knows? Maybe a blockbuster name hits the radar come July. The key right now is staying competitive and letting the young core keep developing. So while we wait, fans are glued to every rumor, every press conference, every inning, and more than ever, we need each other, the diehards who bleed pinstripes. Speaking of that, what about you, Yankees fan? What's your take on the decision to pass on Arenado? If you were in charge, would you have made the move? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion matters. This is a space for real fans, real talk. And if you made it this far, congrats, you're true Yankees to the core. But don't go anywhere because part 2 is just getting started. We've got more insider buzz, rotation strategies, trade rumors, and a deep dive into what lies ahead for our Bronx Bombers. As May rolls on, the MLB season starts to truly reveal each team's strengths and weaknesses. And if the Yankees have shown one thing in these first 30 games, it's resilience. Despite clear roster gaps and some head-scratching choices, they've stayed firmly in the division fight. Aaron Judge is putting up highlight reel numbers daily, not just leading on the field, but becoming the emotional anchor for a new generation of Bombers. Guys like Ben Rice are clearly feeding off that leadership, but the biggest internal topic remains the hunt for a reliable right-handed bat. The Arenado decision has become symbolic of a new Yankees philosophy. Less flash, more focus. What we're seeing is a front office dedicated to financial discipline and player development. That may not satisfy fans craving a super team, but strategically it could be the smartest path to sustainable success. Still, the dilemma lingers. Pablo Reyes and Oswald Peraza haven't stepped up against lefties. Brian De La Cruz is a small, early move. Still in AAA, not expected to shift the season's momentum on his own, which means a bigger decision looms. Do the Yankees trust internal options, or do they trade prospects to get a proven bat? And that brings us back to Zach Eflin. He may not be the sexiest name, but he's a vital puzzle piece. Picture this: Fried, Rodon, Stroman, Eflin, Gill, with Will Warren rotating in as needed. That's the kind of rotation depth that wins in October. Eflin's clubhouse presence and reliable arm are exactly what New York thrives on. And here's the twist: the Yankees know all this. They know that even with a strong start, injuries and fatigue are inevitable. That's why the front office is already at work behind the scenes. Names like Eflin are being discussed. There's a quiet timeline forming around the trade deadline when the smartest moves often emerge. But baseball isn't just numbers, it's narrative. And the idea of landing a rival's ace is the kind of twist fans dream about. Imagine Eflin in pinstripes, mowing down hitters in a playoff push. That's drama. That's Yankees baseball. Of course there are risks. Eflin's back injury raises concerns. But if he's healthy by July, he could help turn this rotation into one of the best in the AL. And let's not forget the bullpen, which despite ups and downs, is starting to find its rhythm, a must in close, high-stakes games. So while the front office crunches numbers, the fans, we bring the fire. We pack Yankee Stadium. We cheer like every game is Game 7. And if you've stayed with me through this whole ride, you get it. That thrill of watching Judge launch one into the seats. That chill when the crowd roars. That belief that this could be the year if the right moves fall into place. And circling back to where we started, Arenado. It's a move that deserves a closer look. The name is huge. The talent is proven. But the front office said no. Was that a mistake or a masterstroke? Only time will tell. What's certain is that Yankees fans deserve to be in that conversation. Because this fan base, we show up. We ask the tough questions. We care deeply. So here's my ask. If you like this breakdown, hit that subscribe button right now. Not just to grow a number, but to be part of something bigger. This is a space for community, for passion, for smart, honest baseball talk. And most importantly, I want to hear from you. What do you think of the Yankees call on Arenado? Is Eflin the right guy to strengthen the rotation? Who do you want to see wearing the most iconic uniform in baseball? Drop your thoughts in the comments, your takes, your insight, your gut feelings. Share this with your baseball buddy, tag the group chat, and spread the conversation. Because the Yankees are powered by fans like you. Passion that turns a team into a legend. And before I sign off, let me say this from the heart. Thank you for being here, for living this passion with me, for keeping the fire of Yankees baseball burning bright. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is the time. turn on that bell and come be part of the Bronx family and tell me what surprised you in this video. Were you shocked the Yankees never even considered Arenado? Do you believe they're on the right path? Would a trade for Eflin make sense to you? Let's talk, let's build. Let's keep this Yankees community loud, proud, and united. Until next time, Yankee Nation, remember, this game is heart, strategy, and soul, all battling side by side on the diamond.